Welcome to day 24 of NeoBlisseyX versus the MGM Studios 31-day movie challenge. Today's category is a movie from your favorite film series. Before we get to a look at our spotlight film, and of course with your kind indulgence, I will take a brief look at the history of the franchise from which our spotlight film comes. Godzilla is a series of tokusatsu, special effects, science fiction films produced by Japanese film studio Toho Company Limited. As of April 16, 2025, the date this narration was recorded, 33 films have been produced by Toho in the Godzilla series, with a 34th film in preliminary development. As with other tokusatsu productions, fans have split the Godzilla franchise into eras based on the reigns of Japan's emperors. The first era of the Godzilla franchise, known as the Showa era, lasted from the release of the original Gojira, or Godzilla, in 1954 to Mecha Gojira no Gyakushu, or Terror of Mechagodzilla, in 1975. Fans of this era of the franchise would be advised to seek out Godzilla the Showa Era Films 1954 to 1975 by boutique physical media label The Criterion Collection. This 8-disc Blu-ray set features all 15 films from this era, including the first ever North American release of the 1962 classic Kingu Kongu Tai Gojira, King Kong vs. Godzilla, in its original Japanese form. Despite starting while the historical Showa era was still in progress, it would be until 1989. The Heisei era of the Godzilla franchise lasted from the 1984 film known by American fans as The Return of Godzilla, but still simply named Gojira in Japan, to the 1995 film Gojira Tai Destoroyah, or Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. This era ended with Godzilla dying due to the meltdown of his heart, which was likened in Godzilla vs. Destoroyah to a nuclear reactor. This was done in order to allow an American studio, TriStar Pictures, to produce a trilogy of American Godzilla films. However, following the critical failure of the resulting film, 1998's Godzilla, and the accompanying cancellation of sequels to it, Toho decided to restart the Godzilla franchise 5 years earlier than they had planned. This leads us to so named for the turn of the millennium, as the historical Heisei era would continue until 2019. The Millennium era lasted from the 1999 release of today's spotlight film to 2004's Gojira Final Wars, or Godzilla Final Wars. Spurred on by the financial and critical success of Warner Bros. And Legendary Entertainment's 2014 American Godzilla film, which kicked off the Monsterverse cinematic universe by the two companies, and which Toho would release in Japan, Toho released the critically successful 2016 film Shin Gojira, Shin Godzilla, or Godzilla Resurgence if you prefer. Spurred on by the international success of Shin Godzilla, Toho initiated the Reiwa era of the franchise, which has lasted to the present day, covering all Toho-produced Godzilla films from Shin Godzilla to 2023's Academy Award winner Gojira -1, Godzilla -1. Now that we've caught up to where we are in the history of the Godzilla franchise, let's finally take a look at today's spotlight film as the challenge continues. Originally released in US theaters in an edited dubbed version on August 18, 2000, following a release in Japan on December 11th of the previous year, Gojira Nisen Millennium, Godzilla 2000 Millennium, or shortened to just Godzilla 2000 for US distribution, was the 23rd film in the Toho Godzilla series and the first of the Millennium era. Edited by US distributor TriStar Pictures, and running 8 minutes shorter than the original Japanese release, which would not see American distribution until a 2014 Sony Blu-ray, the film follows a group of Godzilla researchers who travel throughout Japan to try and predict where he will strike next. The researchers eventually become engrossed in an alien plot to use Godzilla's mutated DNA to make them able to live in Earth's atmosphere as part of a conquest plot, while also trying to stop Crisis Control Intelligence, a branch of the Japanese government, from destroying Godzilla. Born in Seoul, South Korea on June 16, 1972, John Cho was a member of the Loop Group that provided additional voices to the edited US English release of Godzilla 2000 Millennium. Cho was a part of a voice cast for the US version of Godzilla 2000 Millennium that was entirely Asian American due to US version director Mike Schlesinger not wanting the characters to sound like they were, in his words, from Wisconsin. In 2009, Cho first played the Kelvin timeline version of Hikaru Sulu in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. He would reprise the role in its two sequels, Star Trek Into Darkness and Star Trek Beyond, as well as the 2013 Star Trek video game. Tomorrow on day 25 of NeoBlisseyX versus the MGM Studios 31-day movie challenge, it's your favorite remake. Until then, take care and live long and prosper.